The game begins with Jack and Daxter being banished into the wasteland by the tyrannical Count V'ger for supposed crimes against Haven City. Ashlyn, who opposes the banishment, gives Jack a beacon before she leaves and tells him to stay alive. As they travel through the desert, flashbacks reveal that Haven City is at war between the Freedom League and the surviving Metalheads and their allies, the KG Deathbots. The residents of Haven City blame Jack for his association with Core and crew from the previous game, because the latter two deliberately allowed Metalheads access to the city in the first place. The palace is then destroyed by an unknown force. As Jack, Daxter, and Pecker lose consciousness, they are rescued by a group of desert dwellers, who take them back to Spargus City. Waking up in Spargus, the king, Damus, says that Jack must earn his place in the civilization by proving himself as a warrior in both the arena challenges and by serving the city, to which his life now belongs, for being rescued. His missions involve recovering citizens and artifacts during or after sandstorms, racing both buggies and leaper lizards for upgrades, solving puzzles for eco-crystals, catching Kanga rats upon a leaper lizard, and several other odd jobs in the Oasis City. Most important among these events is that Jack is bestowed light eco abilities to balance the darkness within, granted to him at the Precursor Temple by an oracle who believes that Jack is the last hope for civilization. His light powers include time-slowing abilities, healing powers, shield abilities, and even flight. Along the way, Jack befriends the Precursor monk, Seam, and a buggy garage owner, Cliver, who initially dislike him at first until he gains their trust over time. During one of Damus's missions into the desert, Jack is found by Ashlyn, who reveals that she knew Damus would find him since she knew he would check his old beacons. She refuses to tell him how she knows Damus and then begs Jack to come back to Haven City to defend it from the Metalheads and the new Crimson Guard Deathbots. Still embittered about being exiled, he refuses to return. Ashlyn leaves him, but later, after finding out what the evil Count V'ger has in store for his friends, Jack changes his mind and makes the journey via transport to Haven City. Jack and Daxter help reunite the resistance in Haven, who were divided due to barriers put up by enemies, and gives them hope that they can beat back the Metalheads and Deathbots to reclaim their city. Partway through the game, Jack and Daxter start to encounter strange creatures. A precursor telescope in the outskirts of Haven City reveals that the beings are Dark Makers, who were once precursors, but exposure to dark eco transformed them into twisted beings. Jack finds that a purple star in the sky is actually a Dark Maker spaceship, and it is nearing the planet. The only way to stop the ship is to activate the planetary defense system situated at the core of the planet, and after defeating the Metalheads and Deathbots in Haven City, Jack and Daxter begin their trek through the catacombs to the planet core. Damus joins them as they burst through a destroyed section of the city searching for a way to the core. In the battle, Damus is crushed underneath a buggy and fatally injured. In his last moments, he asks Jack to find his long-lost son, Mar, and gives him an amulet bearing the seal of Mar to identify him. Remembering his younger self from the events of Jack 2, Jack realizes that Damus is his father, but Damus dies before Jack can tell him. V'ger arrives and tells Jack that it's true, and he took Jack when he was a small boy away from Damus for his eco powers before Praxis banished Damus and seized control of Haven. V'ger then rushes off to the core and Jack follows him, hungry for revenge. Once there, they seem to have beaten V'ger, and the precursor entity tells Jack that he has earned the right to evolve into one of them. V'ger, however, emerges from the shadows and takes the power for himself. However, it is soon revealed that precursors are actually Otzels who are simply fluffing up the myth to match their appearance with their abilities. A baffled V'ger is transformed into an Otzel, effectively as punishment for his actions. The precursors send Jack and Daxter to the Darkmaker ship to slow it down while the planetary defense system charges. The mission is a success, but as the ship is breaking apart, a gigantic, spider-legged Darkmaker terraformer commanded by the Deathbot leader, Errol, escapes from the ship and descends to the planet. Jack follows, and after a battle, Errol and the robot are destroyed. Back in Spargus, Sig is put on the throne and Jack departs with the precursors to see the universe. However, after the ship takes off, He emerges from the shadows and says that there was no way he could leave Daxter behind, not with all their adventures ahead. The game